Hello, welcome back to my channel and welcome to another Plan With Me video. In this video, I'm gonna plan out this upcoming week. I wish I could tell you that it was Friday or Saturday or Sunday. I had intentions of filming this video and planning this week, this upcoming week, many days, and now it is Monday morning, and now I really have to get the week planned out. So we're gonna plan out the week on my weekly planning pad and then use my Golden Coil to-do list planner to get the to-do list situated, which is gonna be very important this week because I'm doing things a little bit different. It is the last week that we are here in New York City before we move, and I just have a lot of tasks really to get done, both work and personal. And instead of like mapping them out throughout the week, I'm going to just put the bare bones of what is already scheduled, like things that have a certain day or time associated with them. And then what are the to-do items that have to get done on certain days this week? And instead of then like plopping all the to-do list items throughout the rest of the week, because it's kind of one of those weeks that like it all has to get done at some point. So let's go ahead and start with my routines. I also grabbed 2 sets of colors. I'm gonna do kind of double color coding. I'm gonna do one color for personal and one color for work. If you watched the last Plan With Me, I have been sleeping in because my sleep schedule has been thrown off, and it's kind of the same situation. So I'm gonna write my AM routine starting at 8. Honestly, it really varies a lot depending on the day. Some days I am going to bed early because we don't have any plans, because I'm exhausted from trying to do everything, and then I get up early and do it earlier, and some days it's later. It really, honestly, I could write at 6. It really doesn't matter. And then same thing with my PM routine. It really varies based on what else we have going on that day, that night. And as much as I am like, do I really have to write that? Like, it's kind of redundant. I like seeing it on this page. It really does remind me. I think I'm gonna do teal for personal. It really does remind me to do those things, even when there's so much else going on. And right now I have really trimmed down versions of both of them. I cut out a lot of not necessarily unnecessary steps, but things that are just not taking priority right now, as well as giving myself, you know, permission and what I need to do. Again, given everything else we have going on this week. I literally cannot believe that we move in 1 week. 1 week from today, the movers will be here picking up our stuff, and then the next day we will be driving. So I'm gonna go ahead and write sleep in at the top just to take up this extra space. Although, like I said, it really does change based on everything else we have going on that day. All right, so let's start with timed things. So on Monday, I have one one-on-one call. This is the only one-on-one client that I had circle around moving. Everybody else I finished up last week before we were moving, and I'm not starting anybody new until the week after. This was just an exception. So that's the only thing time scheduled for today, except we do have someone coming to look at the apartment at 5:30. I don't necessarily have to I have to be like ready to have, I guess, you know, a realtor and their clients in our apartment. So those are the only things scheduled for today. Tomorrow, I have nothing scheduled. Oh, I do. Well, we do have dinner plans, evening plans. I'm just gonna put plans. We don't have any set, there's no details. It's just like, it was a, what night is everybody free? So Sam and I are hanging out with a friend on Tuesday night. I put 7 because I feel like that's probably the earliest we'll hang out, but it could be earlier. We're just gonna go with it. And then on Wednesday, we have the live from 1 to 2, which is gonna be the background on that is gonna be so empty. There's nothing in on my office, like shelves or anything. And then we have the community goal setting session at 7 on Wednesday night. All right, that is it for Wednesday. Thursday, we have tickets to a show. I can't remember if the show starts at 7 or 8. Probably should have looked that up before I started filming this video, but we'll just go ahead and write it at 7. And then Friday, I have dinner plans with a friend. And then we have plans with friends to celebrate. And it's essentially an engagement party right after an engagement at 9 that we have together. I'm so excited. I'm so excited for the couple. I'm so excited to celebrate them and that they're squeezing this in. I mean, they're not squeezing it in before we move, but it happens to be squeezing in before they move. And then we also get to see a lot of people at that event before we leave. It's just like the perfect timing, and I'm so excited. All right, that is it in terms of time things. I don't have a lot of other daytime time things because I don't have any other calls scheduled this week, which is how I wanted it. Saturday, nothing set in stone. We do have friends that are gonna come by and see us like on our, while we're packing and kind of getting everything wrapped up and help us get some furniture out of our apartment and all that stuff, but nothing, no time set there. And then I have brunch plans on Sunday. And then other than that, that is it. Obviously, most of the plans this week are very social. It's our last week in New York. We have a lot of fun things going on. All right, let's talk about tasks. So this might be a double, like we might be trying to do these things at the same time. Okay, I scooted you up a little bit. This is again, my Golden Coil to-do list planner. It's got all the days of the week at the top, which I don't know how much I'm gonna use of that because it's gonna be kind of, well, it is gonna be redundant, but I might write it in both places because this sits down on my desk and I actually check this off, whereas this hangs up on my calendars and I don't really bring it down and check it off, but I like having it when I plan each day. You know what? I don't need to write it twice. That is gonna be it for this piece. Like this is all that's gonna happen. Anything that's a to-do item can go on here. As I said that, I thought of something. Well, we'll see. We're gonna go through each thing one at a time. I'm very all over the place right now. If this video is any example, but that is, I feel like what moving across the country will do to you. Because the first thing, you know what? Again, sorry. I'm gonna tell my editor to keep all that bantering in because it is just like, that is how my brain is processing right now. And then the sirens are going off in the background and it's just one of those days. So my communication routine, I'm just gonna go ahead and write it at 9. Normally I do it later in the day, but I wanna prioritize it this week and do it a little bit earlier. So I'm gonna go ahead and write it here and give it the work color and have it go all the way across. This might be the only thing that ends up, we'll see. I think what I'm thinking is that if it's a to-do item that might happen at a certain time, I'll put it here. If it's a to-do item that just needs to happen a certain day, but it can happen at any time, I'll put it here. And then if it can happen any day, anytime, I'll put it here. Hopefully that makes sense. It works for my brain. So what I am gonna do here is split the to-do list between work and personal. It's all of a sudden super bright again. Let me darken that up so you can actually see what I'm writing. The lighting is all over the place this morning. So in terms of personal things, the typical things that I do every week is water the plant, then at some point update my finances. I'm very behind on them. I'm not even gonna worry about that this week, to be totally honest. The rest of it is pretty much moving stuff. So I started to do, I canceled electric and gas here and I set up electric and gas in Chicago. I have not canceled our cable here because you have to call. You can't just do it online, which, like, I get you're gonna try to talk me out of it, but I'm calling to cancel because I'm literally leaving the state, but whatever. So I need to do that. That can happen any other day. And then setting up internet there, I tried to do, but they will only hold it, if you wanna do an in-store pickup, they'll hold it for a week. So I need to do it, I think I'll do it Thursday. And set that up, it's Xfinity is the company. So that is that in terms of moving. The other moving stuff is a lot of really specific, wow, it just got really dark. The other moving stuff needs kind of a once over first. If you watch my last video, that was the packing process, we're kind of going right from that video into this one, and I haven't taken the time to kind of go through the list based on what my mom and I got done together and figure out what's left. So we're actually gonna just start with the moving list. And there's nothing really that has to happen on any certain days. It just all has to happen by next Monday. All right, now let's talk about work. All right, the sun keeps going in and out, so this is where we're at. All right, let's talk about work. So there's 3 big things that need to happen in work. The first one is finishing up the community stuff for this month, which is mostly just that goal session. So those to-do items, let me mess with the lighting again. Those to-do items, I need to prep the goal session and then do the replay, and I'll probably just do it that same day. Normally I do the goal session a little bit further in advance, but you'll see in a second why I don't think that's gonna be the case this week. So we'll do the goal session Wednesday morning, and then we'll get the replay up on Wednesday evening. That's pretty much it in terms of wrapping up this month's stuff. The next big thing is March content. Pull this back over. So the things that are gonna get done on, in the theme of this week, my phone, or my camera rather, ran out of storage space. So I don't know what that was captured and what wasn't captured. The next big chunk of work task I'm working on is March content. So the two things that need to happen on certain days, and this is because of conversations with my editor, is the content plan needs to happen today and filming needs to happen tomorrow. And then everything else can happen at any point this week. And then I also decided I was going to use these over here too, because I just like the way that they look. So I need to do Instagram and I need to do the community content. Those are the three big categories of content that I do: YouTube, Instagram, and the community stuff. And then the last big piece of work stuff that needs to happen this week is the community move. So if you've heard me talk about this in a couple of videos, the Plan with Laken, Goals with Laken community, I know that sounds redundant. The Plan with Laken obviously is my brand. Goals with Laken is the name of the community, is moving from Patreon to Teachable. And that is happening on March 1st. And so there's a lot of kind of behind the scenes stuff that I have to do this week that are based on certain days. Some of it just has to happen, but a lot of it is actually specific days. So the first thing is I have an FAQ email that I'm going to send out to current members today. I sent them a video of all the changes and how it impacts them specifically, and there's been a lot of FAQs. So I'm going to send that email out today. I drafted it last week. I wanted to sleep on it before I sent it out. Then I have to do the refunds for annual members. So I am going to do that. I want to do that as close to the end of the month as possible. They still have access to content. It just, unfortunately, I had a friend that was a guinea pig with me. This is, again, one of the many frustrating things about Patreon. It's just harder to find. So I've been waiting to send it. So I think I will do those on Thursday. I was going to put them on Friday, but the way that I've been operating is by Friday, I've kind of just been focusing on personal and packing. So we will do the annual refunds on Thursday. We'll process all of those. And then there are two things that need to happen that can happen any day this week. And that is finishing up the Q2 planner so that on March, actually there's three things. Actually, well, no, I'll just do it whatever day it works. So finishing up the Q2 planner, drafting out the email that's gonna go out on March 1st, since that's the day we're actually gonna be moving. It ended up working, I don't know if working out's the right word. It is ironic, somebody pointed this out to me on the live, that I'm moving physically and virtually all in the same day. And I, in retrospect, probably could have planned that much better, but there were a lot of reasons behind that, and it is what it is. So that's what's happening. And then the video. They are gonna have a video in Teachable when they join on 3/1, and so I want to get that written and filmed. There's kind of a lot of pieces to that. And in my head, I would love to film that tomorrow when I'm filming my other content, but if I don't get to that by tomorrow, that's not a big deal because I'm gonna edit that myself. So that is not gonna be a time sensitive thing. So I think that's it. I think this is my plan for the week, what I'm going to get to, what has to happen on certain days. This is basically certain times and certain days. This is just certain days, and this is whenever I get to it. And we'll see how it goes. And then of course, once I do this moving list, that'll be a much bigger list of things I need to get done. But I feel pretty good about this plan so far. I mean, definitely a little bit overwhelmed in the amount I've got to get to in the next 7 days, but it is all gonna be worth it when we are moved and settled in our new apartment. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, please click that subscribe button. I upload new videos every week focused on helping you achieve your goals. Thank you so much for watching. The lighting hates me right now. The